This one, it's been shared around by a few people. I saw this one from Doppel ZGZ, and they said Tomb Raider Shadows of Truth has been canceled. Tomb Raider news. And if you aren't familiar with Shadows of Truth, it was I believe, a tabletop RPG, and it's been canceled. But the reason why it was canceled is actually what's crazy about the situation. This is an update as of June 20th, 2025. Says, sad news. We are canceling the Tomb Raider RPG project due to creative differences. We couldn't get our vision to gel with the licensors. So we've chosen to part ways. Now, for those of you that have not been paying too close attention to one Lara Croft, you would notice that she has taken on a form of a he, especially in the Netflix adaptation of the, I believe, now canceled show. Correct me if I'm wrong on that as well. But I made a video about 6 months ago talking about how they basically transed Lara Croft and she looks like a dude in the anime. So I decided to do some digging. And what did I find out was that the director is a trans dude that is a actual, I think it's a woman that pretends to be a dude. I think that's what it was. I don't know. It's very confusing when people start mixing up what gender they are. Um, but it's a very butch looking chick, and it's like it's Pat situation. And that's the person that's in charge of the Netflix Tomb Raider series. And of course, it went to hell shortly after that. And the design of Lara was awful. I don't know anyone that saw it was like, "Oh yeah, that's my Lara." It's like, no, 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 no. This was it made Lara look like a dude. No one liked this. Um, the stellar team designing this game put their hearts into making this an exciting, dynamic RPG of adventure and exploration. We're proud of the work they've done, and we plan to retool the project as a standalone game with a fresh original setting. You haven't seen the last of it. Okay. So they might be still launching the Tomb Raider Shadows of Truth game, but they will just remove the IP from it and have it be like the raiding the tombs with Larry Crofty or something like that. So this is the official statement over on Evil Hat Productions, and that was posted today, which is a massive blow to what they were supposedly working on. And I think it's interesting when you go over to the Reddit posts about the creative differences that you get into, because why would that happen after you've signed a deal with doing something? And the only thing I could think about is Crystal Dynamics is trying to push them in a direction that Evil Hat is like, no, that's not what we want to do with Lara Croft. That's not what Lara Croft is. And Crystal Dynamics is like, well, no, this is what we're doing with it. So you have to do this with Lara Croft to keep it on brand with everything. And it probably fell apart from that. Not to confuse with other Tomb Raider tabletop game project, Tomb Raider: The Crypt of Kronos by Iconic Studios. This canceled project, Tomb Raider: Shadows of Truth, was a different tabletop RPG game by Evil Hat Productions. And it says, here's the original TombRaider.com announcement for February 2024. So this is what it originally looked like. And said, get ready to gather your friends, grab a handful of dice, and dive into your own thrilling adventures with Tomb Raider: Shadows of Truth. In this officially licensed tabletop RPG, you follow in Lara Croft's boot prints as members of the Truth Seekers. Defy danger and explore hidden tombs as you race to discover forgotten artifacts. Draw upon your connections to the land, its people, and its stories in order to save powerful secrets from the hands of those who would exploit them. So it sounds to me like this role-playing adventure is just trying to build off of the Lara Croft name with a fairly generic Dungeons and Dragons storyline and gameplay mechanic. And now that Lara Croft and Tomb Raider is no longer a part of it, they're going to just rework it into a generic version of a generic Dungeons and Dragons style tabletop RPG. So honestly, I forgot about it, and it says the game looked awful. If you really want a really cool Tomb Raider tabletop RPG, check out Broken Compass or Outgunned Adventures. And I felt it's better like that. I felt this project was incompatible with the brand from the get-go. Doesn't seem like much of a loss. And wait, this is not the anticipated Tomb Raider series game, right? It's RPG. No, it was a tabletop RPG. So people are chatting about it and saying that this is something that they didn't really expect to fall apart. But at the same time, no one's really that surprised. Again, I go back to the one thing that really stood out to me was in the official announcement from Evil Hat. They bring it up over here, where they said, due to creative differences, we couldn't get our vision to gel with the licensors. So we've chosen to part ways, which is very rare for this to happen after you've signed a deal to move forward with something. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, anyone that was looking forward to this, I guess at this point, just keep an eye out for Evil Hat Productions on what the next game they come out with as a generic tabletop tomb raiding game would be. And you can pretty much safely bet that that's what this used to be, that just got reworked into something that doesn't have Lara Croft in it anymore. But that was basically it with that one. That was a fairly quick hitter, but let me leave that there. Tripwire says, yeah, I have a feeling if they made this board game, it'd be joining the Atari ET copies in the desert. Yeah, probably.